Guess what? The countdown has begun, and I'm going to allow Gwin to launch you into the first game of the finals.
All right, guys, get excited. This is a best-of-5 finals for the Cyber Sports Network, and we are so excited to have two amazing players playing here. We have in the yellow, viOlet, the yellow Zerg, and on the right-hand side of the map, in the blue, we do have binski, the Terran. So, guys, we're going to jump in. We're going to have some Terran vs. Zerg, and this is cross positions, cross bonds here on Antigua Shipyard.
Well, thank God we've hit the finals. It's this point in the night where I get a little loopy after a few hours. I usually start mildly loopy, but end horrendously loopy, as evidenced last week. You know what? I'm a little bummed out that I didn't have a reason to play any copyrighted music such as Star Wars. There weren't really any super duper expert moments I've seen yet, or any just way out of control happenings. These have been relatively safe games here. What can we say about these players here to sort of indicate their intent with how they play a tournament? Because now we're in their late stage.
Now we are to the best of 5, and I really agree with you here, Rance. You know, we've seen some pretty safe play out of both players. It seems like binski is the kind of guy who likes to go for that Hellion expand build, which is so popular among Terrans right now, and we've actually seen, I think, a bigger variety of stuff out of viOlet. You know, we've seen him play generally a macro style, but against Protoss, he's gone for these big infestor ling plays, which were very popular, I want to say, maybe like a month or two ago, and have fallen out of favor a little bit as Protoss have figured out how to deal with them. I mean, we'll have to see if this continues to play out for him, that he can use this style, but he's not doing it quite as all-in as some players like Destiny were doing it. I think Destiny kind of pioneered this mass like infestor ling with a lot of the infested Terran style. And he's just kind of holding back a little bit on the lings, a little bit back on the ling upgrades, and getting an expansion of third base in instead.
All right, hatch first for the Zerg into spawning pool. Looks like the Terran.
Ooh, and the gas steal. I really love it.
That was really nice gas steal there. We're a little short on Marines at this point to deal with that at this point. But we are going to get some good scouting here for binski. I'm not sure what kind of clues he's going to be able to gather from this. This is such a regular looking build there.
I mean, and I think that's, you know, kind of really the point here. You know, he's obviously going for that same style, right, where he's getting the Hellions out. He's got the reactor, the factory on the way, but stealing this gas basically says you're not allowed to go Banshee after this because you're just not going to have the gas. It doesn't matter because he's planning to do the command center, but it just eliminates that possibility in viOlet's mind, which is why I love the gas steal so much.
Yeah, nice cancel and rebuild there, and I love the delay here. Learning about the glory thereof right now. Let's see what kind of floaty factory goodness we can bring here. Bring it over to the reactor. Gonna start up some Hellions, perhaps. That was really good harass last time around.
You know, absolutely. With the spine crawler going down at the front, looks like viOlet pretty much knows what's up and is like, you know what? I don't want to die to Hellions, so I'm just going to have a spine crawler ready to go, opting not to go for the roaches. We see this a lot out of Korean players where they are confident in their control to where they don't think they're going to just die to the Hellion harass.
Well,
so,
that was kind of interesting. He revealed the Hellions there. I wasn't sure if he was going to do that or let them be sort of a surprise.
And it is always a choice. You know, he is pushing out with them though, and he's got 2 more on the way. I don't anticipate him trying to do a run through on viOlet, but I could be mistaken.
Big macro about to occur in this game, folks.
Third command center on the way, and a second factory. So, or I'm sorry, that is just the factory landing. So I almost got excited that we were going to see mech, and now I'm not excited anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the Hellion's going to meet some Zerglings on the middle of the map there. Oh, bad choice there, leading the Zerglings to that perfectly fully healthed Hellion.
It was so delicious.
Yeah. If they try to run by here, I think that's. Spine Crawler's got enough juice to take down one of these Hellions, too.
I mean, that Hellion pilot, I mean, like, what do you tell his family?
He was a brave man. What can you say?
I I guess that's the only thing you can say.
Walker going to go down on the
brave
front side
man.
here as the command center that just completed is going to go ahead and float down. Good saturation on all the mineral patches here as we can note some interesting timing. And
Look at this.
yeah.
I love the positioning on that macro hatch, on the baneling nest, and on the Evo chamber as well. That just leaves this really narrow choke that I'm pretty sure that that's like a 1.5 queen block. So with one queen, if you put it right in the middle, Hellions actually can't slip through.
Hey, that's pretty cool, man. All right. Rambo Hellion on his way to the middle. He's going to claim his Zelnaga.
Five kill Hellion there. That was all on Zerglings, of course. No drones killed yet in this game, and you know when you let Zerg, again, I'm going to harken back to this, but when you let Zerg do this, when you let them sit back and get this composition that they want, and all of the units that they want, it can be really, really scary to deal with, and you need to have some superb marine and tank control to hold that off.
You know what I'm talking about? Perfect income control, folks. 43 to 39, but the income is staggeringly offsides right now. Got to point it out before it evens out with all the macro about to occur when that other hatch pops.
Absolutely. I would not be surprised to see viOlet try and take a pretty quick third in this matchup, especially on this map. I mean, Antigua Shipyard, let's just take a look at the third base and the choke leading into the third base real quick. I mean, if you look at this, guys, you basically defend 1 point and you have 3 bases secured. Granted, there are destructible rocks into third. I'm going to ignore that for a moment, but with the creep spread that viOlet has...
Right there?
No, not quite there. That's
Right
the
there.
other third.
Where?
Right
Where?
there. Over to the right.
There
There we go.
Yeah.
So as long as you defend, you know, that front area, and he's got creep all the way out there already, he's in a fantastic position to take 3 bases and do whatever he wants. On the other side of things, Terran is in the same position. Putting a planetary at that third base allows you to, you know, really secure it. You don't even really have to worry about those destructible rocks on the side. You just throw a few turrets down and you've got your 3 bases. And I think that that's one of the things that makes mech so viable on this map. Of course, we see binski not going for that mech style, opting for the Marines. And we'll have to see what he decides to do here. A little bit of TT out of him, some crying eyes. I'm wondering why that is. viOlet, of
So
course,
is viOlet.
with the question mark. It doesn't know what's up.
We got to make some note of some tech here. It looks like the armor just finished up, and it looks like melee started here, as well as Baneling Speed and Burrow, as well as look at that whole stack of Zerglings coming up.
26 Zerglings and a Spire in production, and the third base going down as well. So taking the quick third, you know, in this matchup before mutas are even out, but his mutas are a little bit delayed.
Well, the metamorphosis is going to increase in speed if the Terran sits around for too long. Nice secure second here. Got to give it to him. That is totally secure. Not much anti-air. Oh, yeah. Very good, brother.
He knows the timing on those mutalisks,
Yep.
throwing down the turrets at just the right time.
That was
Does
cool.
not want to lose to any silly mutalisk aggression. I'm surprised he has not floated that third command center
Yeah.
he built to his third expansion yet. Maybe he's saving that for a planetary, but I have seen some really kooky builds where you build like an extra macro CC as Terran, but they're usually mech builds. So I'm curious to see him going this bio style with this this mech, but ooh, we have a
Yeah.
little bit of a move out here. Let's see how that turns out for him. I love the burrowed Baneling play. Absolutely love it. Not enough Zergs are doing this, guys. If you were a Zerg player and you were like Masters or higher, burrow Banelings all over the place because I know you have the APM to use them.
All right, we're going to keep this on the down low. And we're going to keep those on the down low, sort of. And
A little bit of a Zergling force sitting out there. And okay, here we go. The command center finally moving out. 8 Mutalisks in production, though. So viOlet might be able to start putting the pressure onto his opponent. But hold on, let's go back to that front. And did we see? Yes, we did. We saw some burrowed Banelings pop up there and take out some of that Marine
many?
count.
What's units lost?
Units lost
22 to 29?
22. So quite a few Marines taken out there for viOlet. So great play with those burrowed Banelings. Looks like viOlet gearing up to take 4th base now.
Cha-ching. Well, I think that's a wise plan here, as you know, that the Terran's going to have a very secure 3rd here with the easy choke to defend.
And viOlet having to scan his own 3rd base to make sure there are no broad banelings. I'm sorry, binski having to scan his own 3rd, making sure that there are no broad banelings there. But Mutila's out on the field now. Are there enough turrets in the main of binski? Probably. But we will have to check in just a moment.
Yeah. All right. Let's check the tank count here for a second. 8.
Up to 8 tanks.
And
that,
they're
they
0-1.
have the +1 as well.
Yeah, and check this out, man. 1-1
on the Marines. Would not be surprised to see a 2-2 timing coming out of him. If we jump into that production tab, yeah, it looks like 2-2 about to finish, as well as combat shield. He has delayed combat shield for a very long time. We are almost at the 15-minute mark. Mutilis, rather, sweeping into the main, though, taking out a turret. Will they be able to take more? No, it just looks like the refinery will go down. Some Marines stimming and running back in, but those SCVs will return to mining momentarily.
Word in chat, you guys, is that we missed a drop, so wherever it was, it didn't work. Did it? Or did it? I don't know. Let us know in chat. Alright, we're waiting for the 4th base to get populated with some drones here. Lots of idle units on the front. And, of course, the patrolling Mutilis taking advantage of all opportunity here. Going to run into a couple of these turrets. And that is enough to take it out. I don't know. Would you consider this costly?
I would not consider that a good trade. Of course, you know, the SCV repair on those turrets, you know, was able to secure that. And look at this. I mean, we've hit 200. viOlet is at 200 food. He's getting 2 armor for his Mutilisks. He went for the armor upgrade as opposed to the attack. A very interesting choice, as well as 2 armor for his ground forces. And you know, pushing out here now. Are we going to see, it looks like the scans did go down, the banelings were killed off, and a counterattack path being opened up into that, but will viOlet be able to hold this? Moving forward with a lot of lings and banelings.
I don't know, I think this could be a Zerg roll here if it's played correctly. Oh, the tanks are able to stay up though, and
tanks able to stay up.
That's going to change this story for a second. Mutas are going to be able to do some additional damage, but the real story here is that the back door to the Terran base is now open. Uh-oh!
And that is not a planetary
There come the
fortress.
Zerglings, and it is not a planetary, and the Zerglings are in, and that command center is going to be under siege. There's a lot of Marines out front here, though, brother.
And there are some burrowed banelings right underneath them. Will they go off? Let's see. In the center, it looks like the banelings did go off. Did they kill any Marines, though? It looks like they killed all the Marines. So, absolutely fantastic play out of viOlet, taking those out.
Yeah, and there's just, I mean, it's a multi-front attack here, you guys. We see him hitting the 3rd base with some Zerglings. We've got 1 small pack of Mutilis coming over here. The bases over here don't have anything, and there's just so many of these little guys here in the ground that it's just nearly impossible to keep up with. It's really crazy. Look at the additional base that's up over here, and viOlet's really starting to turn up the heat. Can I bring up the APM meter? Is that considered bad taste if I do that?
You can certainly do that, I think. It looks like both players in the 150 range. Of course, this is like Blizzard nerf APM, so it's not real APM. Hold on, we have a huge engagement, and binski GG's, realizing there's so much stuff there, he's just going to lose everything anyway. And I would venture to say that you know, viOlet took advantage of the big map with that early 3rd, and that binski didn't. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a 2-player map for a 2nd map choice by binski here in this best of 5.
All right, well, we're going to see if he chooses something smart by you, Mr. Brainiac. Welcome to the show. Everybody in the channel, take a second. Welcome Gwin.